Nice family photo.
Nice. Come on, nice.
Yeah.
No, really nice.
So, because we did a 20-year for the farmers market as well, so we could do something for them. Yeah.
Mr. Herbert in the building. How you doing, sir? Very good. Yourself? Good.
You feeling better? Yeah, you still sound congested.
Yeah, I'm better, so.
What do you say? This is a high school special edition.
We are more six.
It's not the special.
From South.
The number.
Okay.
South, yeah, that's what I think.
We are live. We're live. We are live.
Okay, I can. All right, everybody? Yeah, shared. I'm calling to order the business session meeting of the Township Council of West Windsor Township for December 8th, 2025. Allison, can you please call the roll?
Gawes.
Here.
Jeevers.
Here.
Mandel.
Here.
Weiss.
Here.
Whitfield.
Here.
And have we adequately noticed?
Yes, we were adequately noticed on January 17th, 2025 to the Times and the Princeton Packet, filed with the municipal clerk, posted here at the Township Municipal Building and on the Township website. Please stand for the salute to the flag.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and Thank you. We don't have any ceremonial matters this meeting. So I'm going to go right into public comment. Public comment is a 3-minute limit, 30 minutes. I'm going to open public comment. Allison, has anybody signed up?
Yes, I have Mr. John Church.
Good evening, everyone. John Church, 11 Princeton Place. Madam President, as you know, I recently resigned from the zoning board after much thought, but I decided it was time and I want to give some new people the opportunity to work on this board. It's a lot of fun and challenging at times, but it's a great thing to do, and I really want some new people to apply for the positions. My term was to end anyway on January 14th, and I reluctantly decided not to apply for another 4-year term. So anyway, this evening you're scheduled to advance first alternate Mike Garzio to full member in order to fill the balance of Hank Jacobson's unexpired term. Now, with my departure, there are now 2 open positions. When new people join the board, they usually start as second alternate and work their way up as openings occur. I joined this way in July 2015 when Himant resigned from the board to take Christina Samonte's place on council as she was moving out of town. So I do want to encourage residents to come forward and please apply to work on this board. You learn a lot about how the town works, and besides that, it's actually fun at times. And so please people apply for this. Alternate members take part in the discussions and can vote when full members are absent or have a conflict of interest. In fact, this happened several times when I was an alternate. On the topic of zoning, I want to ask council to consider making some changes to our land use code. We've been getting many applications from people in single-family dwellings who want to enlarge their houses above the usually prevailing 13% FAR, which means floor area ratio. This means that your usable floor area can't be more than 13% of your total property's area. But with housing prices the way they are and the growing need for people to accommodate relatives, I believe you should provide some relief here. The issue, however, is that each particular zone comes under a separate code section, and therefore each zone might need a separate ordinance. Ideally, it would be desirable to make more than one change at a time. I'll leave it to the creative powers of our attorney and our land use professionals to determine if this is possible. I do think it would be desirable, and I'll have a little more to say about this at the second public comment period. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Is anyone else signed up?
Yes, Sammy.
Hello, I'm Sammy. I'm from 18 Park Hill Terrace.
Excuse me, can we get your full name, please?
Oh, sorry, Sammy Berger, 18 Park Hill Terrace. I was here last month to talk a little bit about, transit and transport and such. And I guess I'm here back again because I like, proselytizing. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. I am drawing up a full sort of presentation and PowerPoint slides and all that stuff, but it's not ready yet. So I'll keep coming back until it is. I guess where I just want to get started is in terms of actionable kind of things, to start the process. We have a problem with traffic on 571, and what my big point last time was that it's not getting better on its own, and it won't get better unless we do something. And I think that the first step before anything else, before any solution I can come up with or anybody else comes up with, the first step is diagnosing the problem. And I don't think we have to do anything crazy here. I think if I saw something on an agenda at some point now or in the future, which is like paying X amount of dollars for some outside consultant to come in and just look at our data or get data or to look at the basics, I think just a preliminary sort of investigation by one person or a small team or whatever it is, I don't know the full process, would be a great way to start. Because before we can start thinking about what is the best way to get people where they need to go without causing more traffic, without making it more dangerous with more cars on the road or higher speeds or whatever, before doing any of that, the question is, where are the people trying to go? Who is trying to go where? Are the cars coming outside trying to get from Route 1 to 33 or something, or the turnpike, and they just happen to like Princeton Heights Town Road for that purpose? That would be a little weird, but maybe that's what's happening. Is the problem that a lot of people are trying to go to specifically Carnegie Center from inside of our own communities, or are there people from outside trying to go into the Carnegie Center area? And so there are all number of possibilities about where cars are coming, where they're going, and fixing those problems could be an entirely different solution, which could be in our hands or it could end up being out of our hands, depending on what the actual breakdown is. And I don't want to suggest anything before we know that, because there's nothing worse than like spending however much money, millions of dollars on some bus project you're sure is going to make things better. But then it turns out the buses weren't actually the reason the cars were on the road in the first place. And so you spend a lot of money and it doesn't help anything. And nobody wants that. We don't want to spend money for nothing. We want things to be effective. And I totally understand that, which is why I'm saying we start with some preliminary sort of investigation stuff, get the data so that we know how to get started. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Does anybody else signed up to speak?
I have no one else on the list.
Would anybody else like to speak? Seeing none, I will close the first public comment. And at this point, I'll move to Marlena.
Yes, today DPW began collecting leaves in Zone 2. Brush and leaves must be in separate piles for collection. The 2025 Holiday House Decorating Contest is going on as we speak. West Windsor residents are encouraged to decorate their homes and enter the contest. It's a great opportunity for families to work together. Registration deadline, actually it passed. So I guess winners will be announced at the Township Council meeting on Monday, December 22nd. And then the Murphy administration has issued a statewide drought warning. The Department of Environmental Protection is closely monitoring drought indicators and water supply to ensure we have enough water across the state. While there are currently no mandatory restrictions in place, it is up to each of us to take precautions now and do our part by conserving water use in and around our homes and businesses. Remember to use water wisely. The goal of a drought warning is to preserve and balance available water supplies to avert more serious water shortages in the future. Those are my announcements.
Thank you. Mayor, did you want to make any comments on the public comments to start with?
Yeah, I will answer every public comment. And you pushed a button, so I'll go last because I'll talk for a length. So first I want to start by thanking Mr. Church for his service on zoning board. He's been a long time attending council meetings, keeping us honest and giving his opinions, whether I like it or not, and I appreciate that very much. And we have had a lot of discussions outside the meeting with his thoughts. So thank you very much. And I'm glad to hear you will keep coming and you're only quitting the zoning board. So I hope to see you here with budget coming up in few months. I have two bridge updates, one okay and one good. Clarksville Road Bridge, the NJDOT County, West Windsor did meet with Amtrak. We had a meeting last week. Next meeting is being scheduled. They did give uh, some homework to NJ DOT to come up with a plan. The biggest sticking point is going to be how much outage Amtrak can give NJDOT to work on that bridge. That's the biggest challenge since the power lines have to be de-energized before they can safely work on the bridge. And NJDOT needs time to, I'm told that they have examined both ends of the bridge. They have not actually looked at very carefully at the middle of the bridge, at the bridge deck. They're only going by pictures so far, and they need outage of Amtrak lines to actually look at the bridge deck. It takes an hour to de-energize, an hour to energize. So if Amtrak gives us overnight, say 5 hours, then actual working time is only 3 hours since you lose 1 hour on both ends. We're trying to put as much pressure on Amtrak as we possibly can, trying to come up with a solution. Anybody who has dealt with Amtrak knows it's not easy. So again, unfortunately, I don't have any firm timeline or any firm plan as of this time. NJDOT is taking the lead. The county is pushing them. County engineer has been very nice and kind and talked to me offline all the time. I did have a conversation with him on Friday, and he's going to do as much as he can to push NJDOT. He did tell me a few things we can do, so we are working on it. But at this point, I don't have a firm date or plan other than to say Amtrak and NJDOT is working on that bridge. Some people had given suggestions last time to check the timing at Village Road and Quaker Bridge since the traffic pattern had changed. I did talk to the chief, and he told me that they had already done that even before last meeting. They had tried to do that. But again, as I've learned during 7 years as mayor, when an intersection is failing, when you try to fix one direction, the other direction gets worse. So they didn't have too much luck because it was just piling up on Village Road when they increased time on Quaker Bridge. But I have encouraged them to keep taking a look at it, keep looking at it, and if possibly, one day they did have a police officer station there manually controlling the bridge. So I will encourage them to do that too. The second suggestion was to change timing on Clarksville and North Post, and that can be done. And I've passed that suggestion to the county since there's not that much traffic on Clarksville. I think the Clarksville green signal can be very minimal, and most of the time it can be green on North Post Road. That suggestion has been passed to county engineer, and I will check with him if that has been done or not done. So that's about Clarksville Road Bridge. On the good note, Millstone Road Bridge will finally open on Friday. They may not be able to, the county did confirm they will open it on Friday. The deck may not be paved since the temperature is not right, and they will come back in spring and do it, but it will be fully operational and fully safe. And after Friday, we should see all the issues with Cranberry and the other traffic light hopefully dissipate. So that should be, that issue should be solved. So Ronaldo asked a lot questions at the last council meeting. We did replace this speed sign 25 miles per hour. As soon as you turn on Alexander Road from 571, um, the uh, the sidewalk repair on Alexander Road hopefully will happen next week. It involves concrete. And one of the things I have learned is concrete needs certain temperature before that can be poured. So we are hoping next week the temperatures are going to be a little bit better. So they are hoping to pour concrete on Wednesday, and if not, as soon as possible. Those are the two updates out of the questions that he had. Repaving of Harris Road, as I said, I did talk to Francis about the options we have, and we will make a decision within next week or so as to which way we want to go, which direction we want to go. That was that. One of the things I do want to point out that, as some of you may know, the federal tax benefit for solar panels are expiring at the end of this year, 31st. So we did get and process a lot of permits for solar panels. But unfortunately, there are some that are not going to be done in time, because after we give them the permit, they have to actually install the panel, get it inspected, and I believe they still need a okay from PSE&G before December 31st. So we are going to reach out to those people and give them an option. If they want to proceed, we will process the permit as expeditiously as possible. But anything that has not been processed yet is very unlikely to be finished before December 31st. The state law doesn't allow us to to move permits along. Strictly first come, first serve. And it's a little crazy because the Princeton University permit, which was like millions of dollars, is treated the same as if I'm doing the deck. If if my deck is stuck behind Princeton University permit, I'm just out of luck. And as of yesterday, when I spoke to Jason, there were 63 permits ahead of that were still still pending. I did authorize all the overtime that they could possibly do, and they have been doing that. That's why so many solar permits. He did give me the number. I forgot to bring the number with me, but we did approve a lot of solar permits. But still, I think about 12 of them are still left, and they're probably not going to be done. And then before I go answer your question, I just want to thank Rec Department for the drone show yesterday. Majority of people liked it. Some people had some criticism about the content. Some had just don't like the drone show. They want the fireworks back. Given that Marlena just read the drought warning, it would not be appropriate to go back to fireworks. So again, this is entirely financed through the Rec Department Trust Fund. And they didn't raise as much money as they had hoped to. They were hoping to raise 10,000. They only raised about 2,500. So we will have to figure out next year, or they will have to figure out next year what way they want to go. But they did fund it completely out of their trust fund. Regarding your question about 571 traffic, a lot of people have said that people drive like crazy. I mean, I have heard that complaint again and again and again. And you suggest doing a study. I remember maybe 4 years ago, Middlesex County did a study countywide of all the traffic network. And Andrea had suggested to the county that Mercer County do the same. And we didn't get anywhere. They don't have the money. Mercer County told us that unless somebody else funds it, they won't do it. So it's not solving a problem on one road. I mean, 571 is a county road, so they have the jurisdiction. But it's not just solving problem on 571. When the Cranberry Road had a problem, the traffic ended up on 571. So you have to take a comprehensive look. And I always tell a story. About 2 years ago, I met somebody who was in New Jersey, went to Middle East, came back New Jersey. I was explaining to him how the town has grown since I moved here in 94. And a question he asked stopped me flat out. He asked me, how many new roads have you built? And the answer is unfortunately nothing other than Village Road, that little bit. There's no new road. I mean, we just connected One Drive extension, the state is putting more and more pressure to build housing all the time. When you build housing, the people have to go somewhere, somehow. And next round is, I mean, we haven't concluded round 4 obligation, but the attorney will tell you they're going crazier than third round. They want higher density, more density housing. If you put dense housing, people have to drive somewhere. And if you don't build new roads, there's not much you can do other than drive carefully. Now, police have taken initiative. If you are on Nixle, you did get the police report. The chief has put out a report. They are trying to do a goal zero initiative. They did put out a report as to how many tickets they wrote during the last week and what type of tickets they wrote. But again, they will tell you 70% of tickets are written to West Windsor residents. So it's us and our neighbors and our friends who are getting the tickets and driving like crazy. So people need to internalize that. I mean, yesterday I was at the Girl Scout gold ceremony, and one of the kid did a project on traffic safety, and she presented it to high school north kids, and I told her she should come and present it to the adults. Adults needed more than the kids. And I partly joking, partly serious that she should come and present it to the adults or make it available to the adults. So again, we do have our police who keep record of all the tickets they write, all the accidents they write, so they can focus on most problem areas. I will go back. We have our own traffic sergeant who is expert in traffic. Ask him what else we can do. But essentially, we have 4 or 5 police officers on the road 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They write their share of tickets. And you can easily tell by looking at the revenue in the budget, the ticket revenue in the budget. You can see that they do write their own share of tickets. But there's no easy solution here. I mean, we have more cars, more people. State is putting more pressure on us to build, and East Windsor builds it, we are going to get it. I mean, somebody from Plainsboro going to Costco is going to pass through West Windsor. I mean, I can't say no, can't close at my border. So we will continue to work. We'll continue to work with the police, but the solution has to be more comprehensive, county-wide to look at. The county is looking at entire Old Trenton Road from Hamilton border to East Windsor border. They need to do something like that county-wide for all the major roads. Route 1, 571, Cranberry Road, and then come up with a solution. That's not going to solve the problem completely. I mean, as I mentioned before, several intersections in town are failing, and traffic engineer will tell you when they fail, they fail. I mean, there's nothing you can do. No magic bullet other than reducing the number of people getting out in the car. So sorry about being on soapbox, but that's frustration for me as well. So I think that's it, unless I forgot something.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to remind everyone, there is a 571 project that is between Clarksville, not Clarksville, between Clarksville Road and Cranberry and Wallace Road intersection that does involve a bit of traffic calming and adding some lanes, but that's only going to be for that section of road. And even that particular project is a phase 1, phase 2 that was supposed to have started already. The county ran into some issues with some prior approvals that had not been done by one of the state organizations. So it's been held up a little bit. So there are some plans. And just if I can point out to Mr. Berger, the county held a meeting, I think it was in March, just to discuss transit within the area. It was an overall meeting. It wasn't a study. It was more start a discussion. And this particular road, for instance, is part of not only the whole county, but is a conduit from all over the place, as are a number of West Windsor's roads, in addition to it just being a county road. So you might want to think about going to talk to the county and see where they are and what what their next plan is. I don't know if they're going to hold another one of these meetings. I think, Linda, you were at that one also, right? The county meeting, you were part of that. But it might be something you'd want to look at to, get an invite to it if they do hold it next year. It was a rather interesting day-long meeting. Okay, thank you. All right, moving along to administration, we'll go into council comments. Martin?
We're very brief today. No, it's not the norm, just everyone laughs. But I will be brief. We had a great time this weekend. There were many activities and community events. I want to thank everyone who put those together. I know majority of my council colleagues will probably elaborate on specifics of each event. So I just want to say thank you to the community, because it's wonderful to see everyone come out. And just also wanted to wish a happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate Hanukkah coming up. Thank you. Brief, told you.
That was brief, Martin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sonia?
Thank you. Again, this past weekend, Westminster Volunteer Fire Company held its annual Breakfast with Santa event. It's a very popular event. The members were very busy since Friday, prepping for the event, and we had a record of 1,200 plus people in attendance. And that does not include all the volunteers and members who were working for last 3 days. So we probably crossed close to 1,300 people who ate at the event this year. There were many other volunteers who attended that event, who worked with the volunteer members of the fire station very closely with the Boy Scouts. We had the choir from the Apicala group from High School North who came and sang. There was a band from Growers Middle School who came and had their share of entertainment for all who attended the event. Kids of all ages, and kids can be any age. They enjoyed touring the fire station, getting into the trucks. And so it was a very, very popular event. I'm still recovering from that event. But we also had the mayor already mentioned about the tree lighting and drone show. It was very popular. I did get some feedback from many residents. And again, it's a mixed feeling. But it was a nice show. Everything this year, the music was really nice. The singing
nice
and everything that was really good. I do want to remind people the next event that our volunteer fire companies would be doing is the Operation Santa that everybody looks forward to. December 13th and 14th, Station 44 would be going around. December 17th, 18th, and 19th, Station 43 would be going around. So if you follow them, you should be able to see the list of streets on those dates to see when your neighborhood would be covered. They are volunteers, so any donations to them is appreciated. During the Operation Santa, many of the volunteer members or their elves would be walking around if there is giving out candy canes, but also collecting donations. So if you can, please do so. That's it. Thank you.
Dan?
Thank you. Don't have any prepared comments, but I think I'd like just to address some of the public comments today. So to Mr. Church, your comment about increasing the FAR was very timely because I literally just got a phone call from a resident the other day with the exact same issue that you mentioned about people wanting to expand their home, and they're running into these issues where they're out of that range just by a small amount, but that triggers a whole process, which is very expensive for a homeowner to undertake. And it's more relevant these days now because of the whole housing challenges that we have, where people are deciding to stay put and make investments into their homes here, as opposed to maybe 20 years ago, if you wanted a bigger house, you would just move into a bigger house because there was ample opportunities. Those opportunities don't exist these days. And so people are willing to make investments in their own homes, which is actually a good thing for the community. but they run into this roadblock because of the forest. So I think it's something that we should dig into a little bit more and see how we might consider making that change. Regarding traffic, I'd be interested in having a more detailed conversation with you to understand sort of more the nuances of what you're observing and what your sort of high level ideas are. But as Andrea mentioned, I think it's also an opportunity to have that same conversation with our county commissioners. They have public meetings on a regular basis similar to this that you can talk to them about, and happy to chat with you about those opportunities as well. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Linda?
Sammy, I don't have much to add on the traffic issues you raised, but we did talk early November and you know, about all that. But I do think, you know, Mayor and everyone else is probably saying that the county needs to do a comprehensive study. That's probably the best way to go. I mean, applications come in and there are traffic studies that are related to the application, but if you want a big comprehensive study done on, you know, all the major arteries going through West Windsor, that's a major undertaking and a big cost. So just, I think we're all being honest about that, but we appreciate you coming and bringing that up. And to John Church, our dear friend there, if I can get over here. Thank you for your long dedicated service on the zoning board. You did a great job. We always count on you to read all the materials and ask the questions that need to be asked. So that's tremendous service to the residents of the township. So we appreciate all that you've been done, and you could probably mentor many people coming in and, you know, what to look out for or question or what might need to be changed in your opinion. You know, once you come off, you've seen many years and a lot of different applications and heard from our residents. So just a big thank you for all that work. That's good. What else? Breakfast with Santa. I'm not going to say much more. The firehouse, it was big success. Sonia and I were there. Must have taken at least 50, 75 people to do all the work that it does. I mean, we were cleaning kitchens, at least I was, and mopping floors last Wednesday, and the health department has to certify the event the next day because you're serving food. So everything has to be spotless, and it's a lot of work, but yeah. But we pulled it off. Everybody knows the drill. Everybody knows what they have to do, their assignments, and then they come back another day or two, and then we got to decorate the Christmas tree or the holiday tree, and mop up the floors and set up the tables. And fire police are putting out the cones outside, so it's a tremendous effort. But everybody really enjoys this tradition, and I think the residents also enjoy coming in, having a bite to eat, and getting that family photo or with your kids with Santa. Speaking, we even have, it doesn't matter the age you mentioned, doesn't matter how old or young you are, right? So we get this great annual picture with Santa each year, and that's really nice.
Oh, we have to give this to you so you could send it out. Yeah.
Mhm. And yeah, the drone show that went off was actually nice weather, a little chilly, but no big wind, so that went off. So if you have any comments or suggestions, just send it in to the rec commission, right? That's, I guess, would be the best avenue. Let them know what you think. High school kids did a great job, first edition, a cappella. So that was very nice. I guess McCaffrey's was it hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate and cookies.
Hot chocolate and cookies. So we thank them for that, and all the sponsors who also donated towards that. So that was delightful evening. And all those celebrating, happy Hanukkah to everybody. Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Linda, and thank you for all your work. And when we were looking all over for Linda for the picture, and we hadn't heard from her, and she was out there in her green outfit directing the cars and freezing and stuff like that. And she finally came in. We were able to do the
She
picture.
was busy doing her fire police job.
Yes,
then.
yes.
That's
She was,
A
yeah.
couple of years, it was like pouring rain constantly. People were getting stuck. We had to put out boards so they weren't, they were
Wasn't-
working in the field. So I'll take.
Yeah, you came in, you weren't,
Sunday.
icicles weren't hanging from you, so
No,
that was a
no.
good day. Sometimes
It
that
was, it
happens.
was nice. It was
And
good.
then Sonia was the one manning this booth, taking pictures for, I don't know how many hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever it was. So I think you guys probably got pretty exhausted by the end of that one, but well worth it. The fire department makes a few bucks on this, and something like 1,300 people, and I think they were all in there at one time because it was it was a very organized zoo, shall we say? It was really. And the food was great, and Sonia's husband is in there cooking from God knows how early in the morning. So it's a really great volunteer effort.
It's a wonderful community event. I think the fire company does make some bucks over on it, but for most parts, it's a great community event to bring community together and celebrating.
I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, which just starts on December 14th this year. And I also want to remind everybody to shop local and shop West Windsor now more than ever. We're still having a problem over on Clarksville with the businesses there. It's not getting much better for them. The people on this side of Clarksville can get to those businesses relatively easy. So I think we've gone through both social media and through the website, and I think we've shown that it's not difficult to get there from this side, but they're still losing business from the other side. So we probably need to make that up a little bit. Sonia and I are going to be meeting with some of the local businesses next Wednesday in the area affected by the Clarksville Bridge closing. We're going to be meeting with Kathy Guzman, who's the small business liaison from New Jersey Economic Development Authority, and with some of the business owners. The two of us got to meet with the NJEDA when we were at the League of Municipalities Conference. We told them the story of what's going on over there, where there's a bridge closing that looks like it's going to be long-term, and it's hurting some of the businesses. And somebody got in contact with us very quickly and said they'd like to come out and talk to our people, see how they can help. So we're excited to be able to offer this. And if that works out, we can offer opportunities to other local businesses in the new year. Also, between 1 and 2 p.m. before the business meeting, you can join Sonia and me for one of our famous local chit chats. We'll be having lunch at Compuano's. We're invited to stop by. And we are encouraging everybody while in Village Square Shopping Center to please plan on stopping at the stores today and doing some business. I was also speaking to Kelly today, who manages that particular shopping center, and she said that people are struggling. They do need some help there. So everybody can still use your help. Some environmental things coming up. Tomorrow I'm going to be meeting with the watershed and other towns in the Assunpink watershed about the regional MS4 plans to improve the water quality. We have an exciting opportunity there, which we're going to take to work on a regional solution to that issue. We've even gotten some money from the New Jersey DEP to pay for a study that usually the towns have to pay for on their own, but because we're being very innovative and trying to work as a regional group, DEP decided we're worth investing in, and they're going to help. They've given a grant to about $200,000 to the watershed to do a joint study. So we're going to be looking to join that. And then on Thursday, I'm going to have a separate meeting with the Upper Millstone watershed, which is just starting on that journey right now. So hopefully the Assunpink group can be a good segue into going into the Upper Millstone also. And we'll also be doing our kickoff meeting for the Sustainable Jersey PSE&G grant that West Windsor got next week on a virtual meeting also. Events I attended, of course, Station 43, the breakfast, and our tree lighting with the drone show. And up and coming, there's going to be a grand opening on Saturday at 1 o'clock with a new Rihanna Saloon at 43 Princeton Heights Town Road, which, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, it's right in that little area there. So we'll probably go to that. And moving along. Allison, do you have any announcements?
I do not.
Okay. All right, then we can go right into the public hearing.
Okay. 2025-18, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 82 fees, Section 82-12, Health of the Township Code of the Township of West Windsor, 1999.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing on this ordinance. This is one that was introduced at the last meeting and that was discussed at the Board of Health meeting before that. Does anybody wish to speak on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Gawes,
Yes.
Chevers,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes. And can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-18?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Gawes,
Yes.
Chevers,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes. All right, consent agenda?
Resolution 2025-R254, establishing January 1st, 2026, New Year's Day, and January 19th, 2026, Martin Luther King Jr. Day as official township holidays. Minutes, September 8th, 2025, business session, September 8th, 2025, closed session, bills and claims.
Does anyone wish to pull anything? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
Salute.
Second.
Roll call?
Gawes,
Yes.
Chevers.
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes. And recommendations from administration and council clerk.
2025-R255, authorizing the appointment of Michael Garzio to fill the unexpired term as member of the Zoning Board of Adjustment to expire January 14th, 2028. 2025-R256, authorizing the refund of property tax overpayments. 2025-R257, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute the reimbursement agreement with Avalon Watch Communities, Inc. for solid waste collection costs for calendar year 2024. 2025-R258, authorizing the business administrator to purchase HP printer and toner for the tax assessor office from SHI International Corp. under the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance contract number CK04, subcontract 24-38 with the County of Bergen, $3,659.06. 2025-R259, authorizing the business administrator to purchase technology supplies and services from CDW Government under the Educational Services Commission Cooperative Pricing System, ESCNJ number 65, MCESCCES, bid number ESCNJ, AEPA 226 Technology, Supplies and Services for $35,742.63. 2025-R260, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a professional services agreement with Spiesel Architectural Group, Inc. for professional architectural services for upgrades to the locker rooms and concession facilities at the Waterworks Pool Facility, $31,250. 2025-R261, authorizing the business administrator to purchase 16 picnic tables for Community Park and Waterworks under the Educational Services Commission Cooperative Pricing System, ESCNJ number 65, MCESCCPS, bid number ESCNJ 2425-01 for $25,616.30. 2025-R262, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute an easement modification agreement for 43 Benford Drive. 2025-R263, authorizing release of partial reimbursement of funds to Avalon Bay Communities, Inc. for the project known as Princeton Junction Train Station Redevelopment, PB 20-15, Route 571. 2025-R264, authorizing the chief financial officer to increase the professional services agreement with ACT Engineers, Inc. for miscellaneous engineering services in the amount of $1,200 for a total not to exceed $3,700. 2025-R265, authorizing the Chief Financial Officer to increase the professional services agreement with Aurora and Associates for miscellaneous engineering services in the amount of $500 for a total not to exceed $3,800. 2025-R266, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a professional services agreement with GeoTrek Environmental and Surveying LLC for professional land surveying services for the next phase of digital tax map creation, $120,000. 2025-R267, authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a developer's agreement between West Windsor Township and Chick-fil-A Inc., PB 24-10, Block 7, Lot 59.02. 2025-R268, authorizing the mayor to execute amended Green Acres Project Agreement Number 17 with the State of New Jersey DEP to increase Green Acres funding by $1 million for a total of $10,225,000 in funding. 2025-R269, authorizing the business administrator to purchase one 2025 Ford Bronco 4x4 vehicle for the Division of Code Enforcement from Paramus Ford, Inc., under Bergen County Co-op number CK04, bid number BC BID 24-23 for $31,509.50. 2025-R270, authorizing the business administrator to purchase 4 2026 Ford Utility Interceptor vehicles and selected options for the police department from Charles S. Winner, Inc., DBA Winner Ford, under New Jersey State Contract Number 20, Fleet-01189 for $178,766.20. 2025-R271, authorizing the
I was going to say that.
I just saw that now. Sorry, that's 2025. We'll correct that. -271, authorizing the business administrator to purchase emergency equipment, including installation, for 4 police department vehicles from Emergency Accessories and Installations EAI under the New Jersey State Contracts number 17 Fleet-00761, 17 Fleet-00719, 17 Fleet-00768, and 17 Fleet-00748 for $64,872.64, and an additional amount of $5,306.09 for an amount not to exceed $70,178.73.
We're getting a few things done at the end of the year. Does anybody wish to pull anything from here? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve 2025-R255 through 2025-R271?
So moved.
Second,
Gawes,
yes.
Jeevers,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Whitfield,
Yes.
Mandel.
Yes, thank you. There's no introduction of ordinances, so I'm going to open up the second public comment. 3-minute limit per person. Does anybody wish to go up for the second public comment?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Again, John Church, 11 Princeton Place. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, talk about inflation. It's on everybody's mind. Okay, I'm a chemist. I'm not an economist, so I'm way out of my depth here. But I did take an introductory course in economics in graduate school. One of the things we discussed was the law of supply and demand. Now, if this is obvious, but if demand outpaces supply, then prices naturally have to rise. In the opposite case, of course, prices fall. So we're in a situation these days where our population has increased substantially, and we have tremendous demand on goods and services for food, housing, everything, you name it. So in a situation like this, the prices are bound to rise. And we got to do all these things, and how are we going to do it? Hopefully, domestic production can rise enough to offset this trend, which is especially harmful to those of us seniors who are on fixed incomes mostly. These same factors are operating to increase the demand in housing everywhere, with prices rising to unprecedented levels here in West Windsor. This is one reason that I believe we should adjust our housing codes, as I mentioned earlier. This would permit single-family homeowners to more easily enlarge their houses without having to come to the zoning board for variances, which is expensive and time-consuming. At the same time, Madam President, we should firmly resist proposals to allow more than one principal residence on a single property, as has been proposed in our legislature. If put into effect, this would cause very serious strain on all of our resources, sewers, you name it, everything. So I think we should try to continue to oppose this trend. I don't know where it is in the legislature right now, but this is not going to be good for West Windsor, in fact, for everybody. So whatever you can do to help oppose this trend, would be much appreciated. One more thing about the Clarksville Road Bridge. Okay, now many years ago, the bridge was replaced. It used to be, some of you who've been here a while might remember that there was a wooden plank bridge for a while. And my kids even used to call it the rickety stickety railroad bridge. We roll over, click, 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 click. So the bridge was replaced. And at that time, they must also have had to cut the Amtrak power lines down to allow the bridge to be replaced. So if you could look back in history and find out what Amtrak did at that time and how it was handled, that might help with the current situation, which is indeed very, very bad for everyone. And we're hoping that the bridge can be fixed without too much delay and we can get that road open again. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, John. Hey, Ro-
Okay.
Can you
Oh.
wait until?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, you come up. I was gonna say, you want to?
Yeah, I'll wait.
If you can wait.
This
for
is
the
public comment number
Yeah.
2, right? Yeah.
Let him
go ahead.
finish public comment.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody. I mean, as I've,
And then just give your name and.
oh, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
Dan, 18 Park Hill Terrace.
You have to say it every time. He has been coming for 30 years and he still has to repeat it.
Well, yeah, well, this is my second time. I'm still getting it in the head. So I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, this is like my second time coming to one of these meetings, so I'm still learning a lot about what's county, what's local. So thank you all. I'm glad to see you all care about it. It's encouraging to see. I know it's a hard problem. I don't want to ask you all to make miracles happen out of nothing when it's not even your jurisdiction. I just think it is important to, think it'd be great if the county could help us, but if they can't help us, it is us who may have to deal with the consequences. So what is there in our purview that we can do? And that's just kind of all that I really want to, push for, just what can we do if we need to? But yeah, thank you all for letting me know. And I'll keep thinking about it.
Thank you. And this is our public comment, but the council people are always available. Email, if you wanted to meet with people, we're always available to talk. Okay. All right, now we going to have any other public comment at this point? No more public comment. I will close the second public comment. Mayor, did you have some comments?
Yeah. Well, first, I forgot one of the important things in my report earlier. Thanks, Marlena, for reminding me. Our new website is going to go live on Friday. It will not be perfect. The first step was just copying what was on the existing website, but the new website is a lot more, easier to manage, to modify. So again, once it goes online, whatever your suggestions are, just please send it to us. We will first fix any errors, any mistakes, and then implement new features as we go along. So again, this Friday, we hope to get the website up. And again, John tangentially mentioned something. You are referring to ADU, I assume, that the state is talking about forcing all township to allow ADU. Right now, no townships can allow ADU. And coming back to your issue, ADU is additional unit you can build on your own home. Princeton allows that in some extent. Current law says each township has their own options. The state is working on a legislation to force every township that they don't have a choice. If you want to go and build a second ADU on your home, on your lot, you can go and do that. Now, again, if such a legislature, if we request you, please call and tell the state where are all the double the number of cars are going to go. Because essentially you're building, I mean, not everybody will build, but even if 10% people decide to build, where the 10% additional cars are going to go. Those are the kind of things that happen at the state that we don't have any control over. People don't pay attention to, and then they come and say, "Hey, Mayor, why are you not doing anything about traffic?" I mean, if you give me 10% more people, I can't tell them you can't get out of the house, or you can go on Tuesday, she can go on Wednesday. I mean, India does that. Even number license plate, odd number license plate. If you do here, there will be a riot. So, but those are the kinds of policies that the state pursues that have effect on you, but you don't even know that's happening. And because John mentioned about EDU, that's what triggered my thought that you're talking about traffic. That will definitely add at least 10%. And over time, I mean, if you see your neighbor building and making $500,000 on small unit, you will be tempted to do that too. So eventually everybody will do that. And state is going to force everybody to do that unless people call their legislator and say, this is crazy. We can't handle traffic right now. Where additional 10% traffic going to go. So thanks.
Thank you. Going into council reports, Linda?
The Shade Tree Commission's normal meeting for December, which would be the fourth Wednesday, was canceled because that's December 24th. So they're having a special meeting on Wednesday, December 10th, 6:30 p.m. in Conference Room B here, Municipal Building.
Thank you. Dan?
So the Recreation Commission met last week. A lot of the conversation was the planning for the drone show, and tree lighting. There was some discussion about fundraising and how we can do a better job going forward in raising funds. I made a recommendation that they create a subcommittee within the Recreation Commission that focuses on fundraising, that it shouldn't be just like a one-off thing. One of the things that they quickly came to the conclusion for this specific event was that they waited too long to start advertising it and trying to commit. And I pointed out that this really should be a year-long effort. It's not really event-driven.
I think
So-
the fall probably is a bad time to have a fundraising event when there are a lot of other fundraising happening
Yes.
everywhere.
And
In general.
This fall was particularly bad because we had all the food. It's
Right.
fundraising events.
It's really hard to get people to want to give a lot of money for a drone show when they're trying to give money for somebody to eat.
Exactly. So again, the point being is that they need to think a little bit more programmatically over the course of the year. How are they going to do this and sort of institutionalize that process? And they were actually incredibly receptive of that. And coincidentally, there has been a pool subcommittee that really doesn't really meet anymore. And Ron comes to every single commission meeting now. And so there was no real need to have a separate committee for the pools or subcommittee for the pools, since he's available during all the standing meetings. So he's probably going to just flip his role a little bit and focus on that. So I think that we'll see them make plans to do that over the next year. Also, they were excited that, as you've seen, we passed 2 resolutions for spending today on new picnic tables and the bathroom renovation. They're still working on this.
I'm the bathroom renovation
So
person.
excited.
I'm the bathroom renovation person, yeah.
Sure that the hot water is ready.
I've been waiting for 20 years,
I think
since the
beautiful.
pool opened.
They're very excited too. And there's more work on the skate park that's coming up. So see some spending resolution requirements in the coming year. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Sonia?
The Affordable Housing Committee met on December 4th. Much of the discussion was on fourth round, and we are still waiting on a final number. So we didn't have much to talk about further on that. But the main discussion was on the new rules that are going to come up next week. I think December 15th is when the new rules for affordable housing is going to be released, because the current rules expire, I believe, end of this year. So the new rules have to be effective December 29th. So we're all waiting on that. Some some of the things in that is going to be a little more explanation about what dispersed versus indispersed. That language is going to be a little more well-written, is what I've been told. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what that language is.
Yeah.
So that's supposed to come out next week,
You're talking about the state rules.
state rules. Yeah.
Oh, they'll define that. Okay.
December 15th is the date that should be coming out. Parking Authority meets this Wednesday on December 10th.
And I assume those state rules are going to wind up applying to the round four.
Round
affordable
4
housing.
affordable housing. Right.
Yeah. which-
Exactly.
Yeah, and some of them I think go way beyond that, if I remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Happy Hanukkah to everybody who's celebrating this coming weekend. And thank you, Mr. Church, for everything and all your volunteering.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Church.
Thank you, Mr. Church.
Thank you, Mr. Church.
Thank you.
Martin?
Yes, Human Relations met last Tuesday, December 2nd. Obviously, they're putting together their itinerary agenda and all of the activities and planning for MLK Day, which will be Monday, January 19th. As we get closer, there will be more details and information. And the planning board will meet next Wednesday right here at 6:30 on December 17th. Thank you.
Do we have timing for the Martin Mulcahy Day? Like-
That's what they're confirming now.
Okay, so we don't have the hours yet.
Right, right.
Okay, thank you. Mark. The EC Environmental Commission did not meet since the last meeting. We will be meeting December 11th this week. So that's that. Are there any other administration updates from anywhere? Mayor? Mayor? Did you have any more? No? Allison?
I
Yes.
spoke more than
You did?
3-4 meetings combined.
You did. You've
Out of my soap.
commented on everything. That's
Unless
good.
somebody pushes another button.
Uh, is that a challenge?
No, that's it.
Okay. Allison, did you have anything at all? No? Okay. There's no more administration updates. We have no closed session. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We're adjourned at 8:02.